Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a lovely little baby box. I'm calling it a baby box because it's a remodelled baby bib box I made 2015, I think, maybe 2014. And it's a completely fold flat box. You only need one strip of adhesive to keep it closed. And it folds flat, fully flat for storage, even with the decoration on, although obviously that's bulky, but you get the point. It folds flat, and I love these kind of boxes. You all love them. If they fold flat, you lot are all happy. I get so many comments. So I've made this one, and actually this paper is the Sea and Sand Designer Series paper. I love it. I don't live near the sea anymore, but I do love the paper, but I didn't want the particularly to go for seaside escape, so I went for this sort of wash of watercolour, which you can go with anything. Right, piece of cardstock that is 8 1/4 by 10 inches, 21 by 25.5 centimetres. This is Seaside Spray, and on the long side, score it at 1/2 inch, 2.5, 7.5, and 9.5. That's all in inches. In metric, that's 1.5, 6, 19 and 24. Then on the short side, score it every 2 inches at 2, 4, 6 and 8, which is 5, 10, 15 and 20 centimetres. So the finished size of the box is 2 by 2 by 5 inches, which is 5 by 5 by 12.5 centimetres. So it's 12.5 centimetres long, 5 inches long. And yeah, and you can fit a baby bib in. I do still have 2 that have gone through my children. So when you roll them up like that, I mean, these are well used, so they've curled slightly, they will fit inside. Oh, there you go. But you could put other stuff in, you don't have to put a baby decoration on. Right, so let's get this burnished. Watch for these little thin strips there. Okay, so when you look at it and it wraps around like so, it's going to fold up and close like that, and you want this part here to tuck into what is the back. So that's where my seam is, hopefully you can see it. So you want this to tuck in there. So if you're unsure, fold up your box and look where the seam is, and you want that panel. It's not the one next to it, it's the one, it's next door but one to that thin part. So let me get rid of some parts. So I don't need the thin part. Just get rid of that straight off, okay? This one here is the one we want to keep in its entirety, and we want to keep the shape of it. So the one next to it, you just mitre off a little bit, and this will just help it slip and close nicely, and then hack off a chunk there, because that is going to form these parts, okay? And you need to do the one next to it exactly the same way. Take off a little bit, and it really is just a little bit, it's not very much at all. Hack off a chunk. This one you don't need it at all, so we can get rid of that one. So if I just hover that for a second so you can take a look, so that's my thin part, those are my 2 tabs, and that one we're keeping, and you repeat exactly the same opposite it. It wouldn't be a tragedy if you did that in a different place. It just might have the seam part on show. You might not want that. my thin part, and there's my 2 bits that are going to tuck in. Now, to help them tuck in easier, I'm going to use my detailed trio punch and just round off those corners. And we can put the box in. I completely missed my desk there. And I'm going to run some adhesive down there and put this together. Okay, I don't know where that bounced to, but I can't actually see it. So tear and tape along here, because this is just a little narrow strip here. I'm using tear and tape so that I can double fold it back on itself. So you can see there's too much tape, and when you just put it back on itself, it sticks, and it means you don't have excess glue. And fold it up. And that is my box made. Brilliant. Right, so I've got my paper, and again I'm looking for where the seam is, and I'm just placing it on the back. There's no... Oh, I didn't tell you the size of it. Oh, I can't remember. Hang on. The measurements of this: 4 3/4 by 8.5, so 12 centimetres by 22. And you just start on the bottom, roughly in the middle, just roughly, and you bend it round the box and just gently press with your fingers and keep walking it round the box. And then it will meet up perfectly. So I'll put some more tear and tape on there. So again, this is the bottom of the box here. Walk that round and over. And that's all now sealed. So all I have left now to do is decorate. So I used the pink and white pair of Baker's Twine before, but because this is blue, I have choices. I could either bring in those two, or I could go for this one, which is Seaside Spray. I'm going to go with this one. And I want it 3 times over, so I'm going to get 3 lengths of it. I really hope I've cut enough to go all the way around. Fingers crossed. Oh, maybe I didn't. Okay, this one is not going to be a bow. This is going to be a knot. That's okay, it's all good. It's still going to be just as pretty. And I suppose if you're making this as a baby box, you might not want to put a bow on a boy one. There we go, and then just a little stamping. So we have oval occasions. This is a new stamp set with a punch, and you can see there's no ovals in that, but the ovals come when you create. So the centre one, the smooth edge one, is smaller than the scalloped oval, but I want to go with the big one. I am going to stick with the bunnies because I think the bunnies are adorable. So let's stay with those. And a block. Oh, my memento, because I'm going to use my blends to colour. I'm not going to blend as such, I'm just using them for colouring in purposes. I'm trying to line up scallops on either side. There we go. So this is Seaside Spray. Seaside Spray. Oh, that's just popped open. And I'm going to have Just Jade, I think, is the best green. It really, really is. I'm going to have Light Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to have Light So Saffron. So I really hope this is dry. So I'm going to have some yellow flowers this time. Oh, it's not completely dry. Oops, bash the camera. So yeah, I'm not using the blends for blend purposes, I'm using them for colouring in purposes. Yeah, Just Jade, perfect colour for leaves and things, or the perfect pairing for leaves and things. I'm going to keep my pink bunny pink, which is a little brighter on this one. Or seems it anyway. And then my Seaside Spray Bunny, he's too cute. So sweet. Oh, I don't know what it's focusing on. There we go. Very lovely. Right, let's zoom that camera back out. And then I can pop some dimensionals on the back of that. Put it on my project. Oh, I need to add a heart. So these are new. These are resin hearts. I just thought that was really sweet. So I'm going to grab one. Oops. Pop it between the bunnies. Rabbits are my favourite animal in the world, except I'm extremely allergic to them. As in extreme allergy. So I have cats. I do love cats, obviously, but yeah. Grew up with bunnies. We all thought I had hay fever. No, not so much. What do you think? Aren't they cute? Let's get rid of that a little bit. Aren't they sweet? Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.